and he will sign in the next few hours. So unfortunately, he's not gone permanently. There's not an obligation to buy. And it's still something, him, Pepe, big wages, really and truly. He's on 65 bags a week. Pepe's on something healthy. That's going to be something for Edu to address in the summer, as well as committing Saliba, Martinelli, Saka, Charlie Patino to new deals, and obviously flushing out other players that want to keep it moving or Arteta doesn't want, and bringing in players. So seems like we're parking that off. You said, probably get a little loan fee, take on his wages. Hopefully he puts himself in the shop window to move on to clubs, people. And if Fulham don't take him, someone else. For him, he gets to play under Marco Silva, who I think he's crossed paths with as well as being his fellow countryman. Stays in London, links up with Leno. Go do your thing, Cedric, innit? Charles Watson said it was a tough decision for Cedric to leave this month. He has been desperate to play, but leaving Arsenal now is a difficult call for any player, given the opportunity they have. Ultimately, his desire to play and Marco Silva's determination to sign him made his mind up. Loan deal until the end of the season now imminent for Cedric. Fulham will cover his wages, no buy option. Arsenal waiting on Fresneda, but even if he signs, the expectation is he will stay in Spain on loan for the rest of the season. Allegedly. Smash the like button, people. So we have to see how that is. Fulham set to sign Arsenal Cedric Suarez on loan, says sources. Fulham are expected to complete the loan signing of Arsenal defender Cedric Suarez this week, sources have told ESPN. Negotiations have accelerated in recent days, and the two clubs have now agreed in principle a 6-month loan deal with no option or obligation to make it a permanent deal. Sources have told ESPN that Fulham will cover Cedric's wages in full, and that's contrary to reports elsewhere. So again, it's gone from first we were told 65k a week. Apparently he earns close to 100k a week at Arsenal. So when you sign meaty players to meaty wages, it makes it difficult to move people on. For Fulham boss Marco Silva has made Cedric a priority signing in this window, viewing the Portugal international's experience and versatility as a vital addition as the club look to push on following a fine start to life back in the Premier League. They are 7th after 9 wins and 4 draws from their opening 21 matches as they look to secure a second consecutive season in English football's top flight for the first time since 2013-2014. Cedric has made just 4 appearances for Arsenal this season. So if he was on 100 bags a week, 4 appearances, that's very costly. Mikel Arteta has been largely reluctant to change a winning team with 7 players starting every league match this term. Marco Silva and Cedric enjoyed a strong working relationship from their time together at Sporting, winning the Portuguese Cup together when Silva was the manager in 2014-15. So you link up with your previous guy. Further confirmation, Arsenal fullback Cedric Suarez set to complete Fulham loan transfer. He is heading across London to join Fulham on loan for the rest of the season, with a deal set to be finalised this week. Cedric Suarez is expected to complete a temporary move to Fulham by the end of the week. Go understands the 6-month loan deal does not include a buyout clause, but Fulham will cover his wages, which are reportedly set at around 100k per week. Marco Silva has made the defender a priority in the January transfer window and likes his versatility. Smash the like button, people. The coach also feels Cedric will add experience and a winning mentality to his team. Once again, Cedric is known by Marco Silva as they worked together previously in Portugal at Sporting. The Fulham boss has already hinted at a move for the right back this winter and now looks certain to get his man before the window closes. Cedric has only played 4 times this season, 1 start, and it came against Brighton, I think, in the Cup. And we're hoping for more regular game time at Craven Cottage. Fulham have made a strong start to life back in the Premier League and currently sit 7th place after 21 games. Obviously, the only thing I would say with Cedric, if this Fresneda guy does sign and goes back on loan, I'm for that, because I'd rather keep Cedric, let him stay on loan. I mean, stay at the club and be a spare part. I'd rather a young player get more minutes, get more experience. Minutes are currency. And I do think we are strong at fullback. You've got Tomiyasu and you've got Benjamin White. But as the Europa League and the FA Cup come into play and Benjamin White's done great, there's been times where Benjamin White has looked, obviously he got collapsed against Rashford, as he always does. Tomiyasu came on, but he's been looking a bit tired. And the only thing you could say with Tomiyasu is a bit touch and go with injuries and things. So other than them two, Brooke Norton-Coffey's not getting a look in. He's gone out on loan. I don't know what you're going to do in that regards and what's going to happen there. So I would kind of like us to be kind of over-prepared in that regards. But I'm happy we get his wages off the books. If he's on 65 to 100k a week, it's a madness. And, him, you hope Cedric Suarez, you hope Fulham stay up and sign Cedric permanently or he goes elsewhere. Big up Pablo Mari. He's back playing again, but you hope Monza stay up so that Pablo Mari can keep it moving. Pepe is going to have to be addressed, whether he's at Nice or whatever. We know we're going to hold the L, probably have to pay somewhat of his wages for a year, but deal with that. Obviously, you got people like Ainsley Maitland-Niles as well, who must be on 60 odd, 80 odd K a week. You flush these sort of players out, you get better, and we kind of learn, because obviously Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Pepe out there, that's not with Edu and Arteta. But Cedric, Pablo Mari, Aubameyang's new deal, William always. When you sign meaty players on meaty deals, it costs us a lot of effort to get these lot palmed off elsewhere. And whether they've been brought in for free or brought in for big money, it's not helping the resources. So hopefully we can flush these players out, continue to have better resources, continue to pour them elsewhere, to players that actually need it, and roles that actually could be done elsewhere, people. We should just buy Brighton, then we're good. If only if it was that easy, fella. Why is it the way it is, DG? Because it is what it is, man. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, crazy how we didn't go for Camara before he went for free to Villa. Ticks all the boxes for us, to be honest. Saka has been in talks for a new deal since last April. Still no agreement. If I'm him, I'm asking for 250k minimum. Boy, couldn't begrudge you at all for that, really. Mad how United fans got rattled by Saka's celebration. Bro, United fans' new one is, Gabriel, Eddie Nketiah is better than Jesus. You mean to tell me, even if he is or isn't, I don't care. You mean to tell me Arsenal fans should cry about having two good strikers now? It's crazy. That's the new one they're flipping. And saying we didn't dominate the match. Like we didn't have 62 touches in their box. Like 20 out of the 25 shots, 20 weren't in their box. And the wickedest thing is we scored 3 goals. And we weren't as clinical as we could be. In fact, all 5 goals are avoidable. There were periods where it was for United, but total domination. Definitely in the second half. Ten Hag's trying to play for a point. Big up 10 months, though. It is what it is. Offer Everton 35 million plus Sambi thrown. No, Sambi on loan. But Everton looks a bit toxic. On a side note, 2 former Arsenal captain brought Man United down a peg. First Vieira delivers the punch, then Arteta. And it's taken, to be fair, United have dropped out of a potential 6 points last week. They dropped, they dropped 5. They only took 1. But it has taken 2 cracking finishes, Saka from far, Eddie from close, United on the road. But yeah, you look at Elise's banger. McKennie stuff is starting to resurface, people. Keep your opinions coming. Smash the like button. For courtesy of Google Translate, people, McKennie's agents are in London for a few days already to evaluate and negotiate with various clubs. Also, we need a project that convinces him. Juventus pending clear requests and absolutely within the reach of every club in the Premier League. I mean, he would give us another option. El Nene's a bit touch and go. You would feel a bit more comfortable that there is a replacement for Xhaka or Partey, or an option to do that. Lokonga does not convince at this moment. I'm not really a fan of McKennie, but I wouldn't be against the depth. I really would prefer it not to be that. But it is what it is, people, in that regard. So moving on, and there's still some other stuff we'll circle back on. West Ham bid rejected for next Neymar, Marcus Leonardo after Arsenal links. 4:30, we're playing Football Manager. But again, it's a madness, people, really. Again, West Ham have had a bid rejected. Spare a thought for West Ham. Just signed Danny Ings and he's got a long-term injury. I'm trying to find the specific Arsenal bit, people. Allegedly, now 19, Marcus Leonardo has racked up 122 first-team appearances for Santos and has smashed 34 goals. The teenager hit 21 goals in 2022 and has obviously put himself on the radar of many clubs. Arsenal, Man United and Tottenham have all been linked with Marcus Leonardo in recent months. West Ham are now trying their luck, but we have to come back with a better offer to secure his signature. I mean, every young Brazilian youth's going to get labelled the next Neymar, so we're going to have to see how that develops. Journalist makes Milan Skriniar claim, people. Arsenal are among a number of Premier League clubs keeping an eye on Inter Milan defender Milan Skriniar, who will become a free agent at the end of the season. I would love it, but I don't buy it, because Skriniar is going to have to be one of our top earners. He's going to want assurances over first-team football. And all of those things. And it does. I'm not saying no to Milan Skriniar at all. Now, bring him to the carpet if you could, especially because he's going to be a free agent. But you're going to now have Saliba, Gabriel, assuming you did get Skriniar for this example, the ability to play Benjamin White and Tomiyasu there. And then obviously you've got Kiwior as well. 6 centre-backs. Someone's going to have to be the deputy, the kind of side man, really. And you'd imagine Milan Skriniar is immediate pressure on Saliba's spot, really. So it is what it is. We'll have to see. I think maybe we could be in for, maybe we was, but I'm not too sure, man. I think Arsenal's a myth there. A lot of English clubs are looking at this guy. I wouldn't be surprised if Man United, Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Chelsea, any of them come in. Well, he's a top player. The top clubs are going to want top players. He's also been linked with Spurs, so hasn't said anything, especially if he becomes a free agent as well. He has been linked with Paris Saint-Germain, and that has been the primary signing club he's been looked to sign for based on reports since the summer. Smash the like button, people. They're all throwing their hat into the ring on this one. They weren't expecting him to be a free agent. He is. So keep an eye on this one. I think we'll see a lot of Premier League interest come in the next weeks. Addressing rumours that Skriniar could join PSG, I find it hard to believe he'll accept PSG without having already looked at the market. These Premier League clubs have got it to be made. These Premier League clubs have got to be making it known what he can earn in England. There might be quite mouth-watering figures for him, which is true. So I don't think, unless someone was to leave, I don't think Arsenal are involved. People like Cedric on 100k, Saliba and Saka should be demanding 100 minimum. Bro, and again, when you make crap signings like that, it costs you. Like, God knows that the amount of appearances Cedric has played, if he was to do appearances made to money you've paid, again, his agent has played a blinder, but them stopgap signings haven't worked. And that's where I said we're learning from our mistakes of Pepe, etc. And you can see we're having a better success rate with recruitment, with Zinchenko, with, I assume, Leandro Trossard, with what Jesus has brought. The decision to give Eddie Nketiah a new deal, bring in Benjamin White off the back of one season in the Prem. Ramsdale, the same logic. Tomiyasu. So I give the club the benefit of the doubt. But this is where we now need to learn from giving Aubameyang that new deal in hindsight. Bringing Willian in, bringing Cedric Suarez and Pablo Mari. And when you can make cheap additions, you can cut corners. But when you cut corners like that, it makes it a lot worse for us, people. So hopefully we get over that. Have we missed anything? So yeah, that's in relation to Milan Skriniar. Arsenal in the race against Klopp to sign Ivan Fresneda as clubs speak out on links. I'm pretty sure some of you would have seen my video come out today where we indirectly covered this. But allegedly, Arsenal are in the race against the Klopp to sign Ivan Fresneda as clubs speak out on links. Arsenal continue to be linked with Real Valladolid star Ivan Fresneda. Arsenal are in a race against time to sign Spanish youngster Ivan Fresneda. According to reports, the Gunners could lose out on the right back to Borussia Dortmund if they don't make their move soon. But didn't we hear both teams had a fee agreed? I don't know. Nonetheless, people, Fresneda has been linked with both Arsenal and Newcastle this window. He only turned 18 last September, but has also caught the eye of other top European clubs like Juventus. Arsenal made a couple of signings so far, bringing in winger Leandro Trossard and central defender Jakub Kiwior, but Fresneda would be more a player of the future. Real Valladolid are keen to keep him on loan for the remainder of the season. If he does agree to join another club, transfer expert Fabrizio Romano says Arsenal are yet to decide whether to proceed with the deal. However, the PL leaders must get their skates on as Dortmund are in discussions over getting the transfer completed for around 13.2 million. No decision made by Ivan Fresneda yet. 15 million euros, 13.2 million quid, people, fee requested by Valladolid. Borussia Dortmund are pushing to get it done. Arsenal have to decide how to proceed in the next 24 to 48 hours. Valladolid want Fresneda to stay there on loan, and Dortmund are discussing about it. He's played 14 career appearances, so I'm not against him staying. I'm not against him signing for the club, learning under Mikel Arteta, but you've just got into the first team. It makes sense to probably let him stay there, turn that 14 senior appearances into 30 odd, and then you begin your life at Arsenal in pre-season and that. Allegedly, Valladolid sporting director Fran Sanchez has given an update on Fresneda's future. He has played down reports of an agreement with another club and says they are not desperate to sell the starlet. I mean, he's not going to say anything else. Fresneda has aroused the interest of many teams, but we have not received an official offer. But it is true that several clubs have contacted us, and interest of many clubs is real, but there is no official offer. We as a club know that the most important thing is to stay in the first division, and then it is important to have capital gains or benefits that lead you to sign other footballers. We are not desperate to sell. Arsenal are also interested in a midfielder. The latest players to be linked with a move to the Emirates are Brighton star Moses Caicedo and Everton's Andre Onana. Ain't that meant to be our Mamadou Onana? Both of which are also targets for London rivals Chelsea, people. So whatever. He made like 500k per appearance, bro. He's living life. Question, would you get in if you're in? Who would you get in if you was in charge right now? Not a clue, man. Really off the top of my head, my guy, man. DG, I'm telling you, if we win the league, they're going to hold on till we beat you in the season. That's great for them. Big up DG, best AFC content creator on the planet Earth. I appreciate that, man. But I'm not too sure about that. And then they can stay around and hang around like a spare part. You know what you're getting with him. Next season, if we are in the Champions League, I want us to be over-prepared. I'm kind of cool with that. If we could get an American, I want to lead you. I mean, Harrison, cool. I don't want Tyler Adams and Weston McKennie and all of that. But anyways, allegedly the Gunners are ahead of Barcelona for Martín Zubimendi. Arsenal now appear to be in with a great chance of beating Barcelona to the signing of Real Sociedad midfielder Martín Zubimendi this summer. Ironically, Barcelona play him today, people, in the Copa del Rey. Smash the like button, people. Subscribe if you haven't. A report from the Daily Mail's outlined the 23-year-old's potential movements at the end of the season. Mikel Arteta has created one of the most exciting projects in European football right now. The Gunners play an attractive attacking style of football with a young, talented squad. Arteta has got the very best out of the likes of Bukayo Saka and Gary Martinelli this season. Even in the absence of stars like Gabriel Jesus, Eddie Nketiah has been drafted in and immediately stepped up to the required level. Last summer, Arsenal were desperate to bring in a holding midfielder. Douglas Luiz and Danilo were both linked with a move as Arteta looked for cover for Thomas Partey and also El Nene, who was injured. In the end, no one arrived, and Partey up to this point has put his fitness woes behind him. Please make sure that's still the thing, and been ever present in the Premier League. Now it looks like Zubimendi could be the player that comes in to provide that high quality competition. The report from the Daily Mail states that Arsenal target Martín Zubimendi faces Barcelona in the Spanish Cup on Wednesday night, having already decided that he wants to move to the Premier League at the end of the season and not to the current Spanish league leaders. He's also been linked with Man United, excluding Barcelona and us. Arsenal are willing to pay Zubimendi's £52 million release clause this month. However, the player made it clear he wanted to stay at his boyhood club until the end of the season. Real Sociedad, like Arsenal, are having one of their best seasons in recent memories and currently sit third in La Liga, and they're still in the Europa League. Zubimendi has been key to that success and has a big Cup quarter-final against Barcelona to prepare for today. A graduate of Real Sociedad's brilliant academy, Zubimendi now looks keen to make the move to England. Arsenal appear to have the upper hand on Barcelona as they chase Zubimendi. The Spanish club's poor financial position looks set to limit their future business. It could mean the Gunners capitalise in the future, especially with the guarantee of Champions League football. I don't know if mathematically we're guaranteed. Do you rate McKennie, DG? I think he's okay. You know, he can come in and be a good option, but I'm not really for it. Skriniar's going to PSG at his age. It's about the bag, and PSG has been going after him for a minute. Offered 75 million for him in the past window, and Inter rejected it. Crazy. Think if I remember correctly, we signed Cedric on a free deal, to be fair, so it's probably worked out even without a transfer fee that we would have had to pay. No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. Any time a player isn't doing their job, it don't matter really and truly. You know, you haven't paid a transfer fee. That means you've probably given him more wages than he could have commanded, as he would be in that case to demand, and also you give him a better signing on fee. And crucially, whether you sign someone with a transfer fee or not, anytime they're not playing and they're on 100 bags, we're wasting money. Not that I necessarily care, because it's not my bread, but I know if we want to keep bringing in players that bring something to this table, people, and obviously our signing success rate, off the top of my head, probably Lokonga and Runnison probably been the meatiest players we've signed recently. Everyone else, Leandro Trossard has just got his feet under the door at the Emirates. Played a vital goal in the goal that we obviously the winner for Eddie Nketiah. Eddie Nketiah signing a new deal has worked out a lot better than when we signed Aubameyang to a new deal. Now, I'm not begrudging Aubameyang signing a new deal, because hindsight's a wonderful thing, people. You know, Aubameyang's new deal, Cedric signing, Marie signing, you know, Runnison signing. Obviously, you know, we're paying the price for Pepe as well. And so, again, it's about doing the right things, which we kind of are doing now. So let's not mess it up, man. Let's not mess it up, man. Big up yourself, AB. Bringing Yunus Musa, Fabrizio Romano, new tweet on Fresneda. Oh, it wouldn't be a big up you lot for keeping me updated on such, but it wouldn't be a normal day without consistent updates. Let's see exactly what's been said here by him. I just want to see you lot can still hear me. Oh, wow, that gassed me. I saw Arsenal have open talks. Apparently, Borussia Dortmund would be open to letting Fresneda stay at Valladolid on loan until the end of the season. No decision yet by the player. Arsenal expected to decide the next step after Cedric deals closed with Fulham. There's one more German club also interested in Fresneda, people. So draw whatever conclusions you want to draw there, people. And once again, Cedric is going, people, to Fulham, allegedly. So one love for that, my dude. Once again, people, further confirmation. Allegedly, Arsenal are, better yet, Barca are set to face Martín Zubimendi, the man they want to replace Sergio Busquets in tricky Copa del Rey tie with Real Sociedad. And Xavi won't say a bad word about him, but 52 million valued midfielder has his heart set on Arsenal. Now, for me, if I was him, I can't lie, I'd go and play under Xavi, if I'm honest, and Barcelona and the carrot of replacing Busquets. But I can understand if you want to join your fellow countryman Mikel Arteta. Allegedly, they share the same agent as well, people. Again, let's scroll all the way down. Apparently, Barcelona wants Zubimendi to replace Busquets, whose contract runs out in the summer, but they can't compete financially with Arsenal. By the summer, miraculously, Barcelona's finances will look all right as they get a couple of players gone. Apparently, the player favours a move to England over staying in La Liga. Arsenal reached an agreement with his club this month to pay £52.5 million release clause, but the player does not want to leave his hometown team in the middle of the season, and the deal is more likely to happen at the end of the campaign. Zubimendi has never hidden the fact that he wants to play in the Premier League at some point in his career and has rejected Real Sociedad's attempts to increase his release clause when his contract expired, people. Apparently, Xavi said he's a great player, but they are different. Zubimendi is more physical and quicker, while Sergio Busquets is more technical. Apparently, the man himself said Busquets is unique as a holding midfielder. He is very good at what he does, the feints, the interceptions, and he's very clever in the way he presses in a forward direction after the ball is lost. I think he finds it harder when he has to run back. That's where I can be different, running back after the ball is lost, covering a lot of ground. I mean, that would be attractive to Mikel Arteta because, as you know, in his system, what you can do off the ball is as important on what you can do on it, man. Thinking we can and should aim much higher than McKennie. Amen. The talent ID of the mid-table clubs in the EPL has improved massively, and that's led to an overall improvement on the quality of player in the league. Zubimendi over Caicedo, but with Rice is 50-50, really. Yunus Musa is the one. McKenzie, man said McKenzie. I think it'd be McKennie and Tyler Adams can stay where they are. I'm with that, really and truly. I don't know if he actually crossed paths with Odegaard. I don't think the Chiesa rumors are legit, if I'm completely honest with you, but it'd be nice, people, if I'm completely honest with you. So that's that where Zubimendi is concerned, people. Again, where Chiesa is linked. In fact, is there an updated article on this Chiesa? Because again, Google Translate is not kind to us at all, people. But Arsenal have been linked with Chiesa. As I always say, I don't believe anything that links us with players in Italy. We've been taken around the houses, people, for Locatelli, probably for this guy, for Vlahovic, for Zenolio, with Xhaka and Torreira going to Italy, and many others, people. But let's see exactly what this article says, people, before we look at others. Allegedly, the Gunners' great season could be crowned not only by a title that seems possible like never before this year, also by a top signing. Of those that would really allow Arsenal to establish itself permanently as a superpower of British and perhaps European football. Yes, Federico Chiesa is the number one objective of the Spanish coach, who at the moment enjoys the greatest favor from his management. Already accredited with a possible move to Carlo Ancelotti's Real Madrid, as well as the object of acclaimed interest from Liverpool in him, the Juventus striker could be one of the excellent sacrifices at Juventus. The more than probable failure to qualify for next year's Champions League somehow obliges the Juventus club to deal with the lack of revenue from European competition. I mean, I think they sell Vlahovic for big money before him. You know, these Italian players, very reluctant to leave the Juventuses as well. He might feel a sense of pride that Juventus stuck with me with my injury. Let me stay. If you put down the money, I'm all for it, though. Among the candidates for his acquisition, Arsenal is fully registered, who wants to return as soon as possible. And again, McKennie's been linked with a move away. Rabiot, I don't know if he'll get a deal or not. Vlahovic could probably sold. I don't know if they'll move for Milinkovic Savic. They probably need to get rid of Arthur Melo, who's hanging around at Liverpool like a spare part. Probably, and things like that. So I'm not too sure. Google Translate didn't help us, but allegedly Mikel Arteta makes Chiesa his top target. You know, had a big injury, quality player, can play all across the front four positions. I remember when Arsene Wenger was here, we wanted him when he was at Fiorentina. Arsenal have decided they really want to sign Juventus star Federico Chiesa, with the Italian outlet, Calceo, Mercato Web reporting they registered their interest in the winger, people. The Gunners are in a commanding position at the top of the Premier League table, but there are doubts over whether they have the depth to sustain a title challenge. You really think we're picking him up mid-season? I'm not too sure. Arsenal have solved one major issue by bringing in Trossard, as they lacked another quality option out wide behind Martinelli and Saka. But it seems that Mikel Arteta's men are eyeing an audacious move for Chiesa, who could be allowed to leave Juventus in the summer. Arsenal want to sign Chiesa. The 25-year-old is attracting interest from Real Madrid and Liverpool, but the Gunners have now registered their interest with Juventus. Juventus reportedly value Chiesa around 53 million. I mean, we could do that. And the Serie A club could be forced to sell some of the key players in a few months' time. The Italian winger has endured a difficult year after he obviously suffered a ruptured cruciate ligament injury, and that led to him missing 36 games. Chiesa was coming off the back of an impressive Euros campaign with Italy before the injury, and was arguably viewed as one of the hottest prospects in Europe, which is true. So We'll have to see, people. The dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. Smash the like button if you haven't already. I'm bugging out because we just looked at this. We've been linked with Declan Rice. Apparently, allegedly, folks, Declan Rice has said no to Real Madrid. Allegedly, people. This I've read this about 2 times. Apparently, people, this is basically saying Florentino Perez was eyeing him up, looking at him. I don't know if that's to play with Jude Bellingham or, as a potential replacement, or looking to take advantage. For Declan Rice, Real Madrid is Real Madrid. You can't say no, but you've got, at this moment in time, regardless of what happens with them, Modric, Toni Kroos, Valverde, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, and probably some other guys soon to compare with. So yeah, people, it is what it is in that regards. In fact, what we should do, Fiorentino Perez has been closely following the West Ham captain for a long time, and in the past he even considered his incorporation, but did not present any firm offer. After learning that, I think when they say it, they mean he was non-transferable, the player himself had no intention of leaving and changing scenery. But now the situation has changed radically. The 24-year-old midfielder is disenchanted with David Moyes' project, because in the current campaign, they are fighting not to be relegated, far from the goal they set, which was to continue qualifying for European competitions. That has led to him wanting to pack his bags in the summer market, taking advantage of the fact that he only has a contract until 2024. A bit like Milinkovic-Savic, we need to remember West Ham have the option of another year. He has notified the London board in relation to West Ham. He has no plans to renew, and he hopes to leave as soon as possible. At the moment, they've already placed a starting price of close to 90 million euros, which is the minimum figure that all his admirers will demand. A high investment, which at the Santiago Bernabeu was considering whether it was worth making. However, there's no chance that he'll end up joining the team currently managed by Carlo Ancelotti. And it is that Rice has already decided where his next challenge will be and what his next club will be, and he will not abandon his hometown, since he has given his word to Arsenal to become one of the first galactic reinforcements to close the Gunners in the summer. Mikel Arteta is very satisfied with the squad that he has available to him, which is the leader in the Premier League, but he is asking for several new faces, and one of them is the former Chelsea man. The agreement with the footballer is completely closed, and he will reject Real Madrid, Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, and the rest of the teams that had his name on the agenda. Rice will become the most expensive deal in Arsenal's history. Arteta has no doubts that Rice is a necessary addition, and he has what it takes to succeed at the Emirates Stadium. For this reason, he has demanded that they pay everything that the Hammers will ask for, even if this means the English international will become the most expensive operation in Arsenal's history. Well, we must know that it's 80 to 90 to 100. It's nice to hear that he's given us his word, but word don't mean nothing in life. Talking like this, talking is a cheap currency. Doing is expensive, and especially in the harsh reality of football and life, unless it's legally blind and unless its I's have been dotted, T's have been crossed, it's all up in air, really. I mean, Declan Rice could give us his word as much as he wants. If we can't get an agreement with West Ham, then he has to go somewhere else. But it is nice to hear that, really and truly. I don't know what you lot make of it. Keep your opinions coming. Appreciate you lot for keeping me updated, people. What else are you lot saying? Chiesa is a myth. What a player. Peak what happened to Juventus point deduction. Apparently they can appeal that, man. I don't know about rejecting that. Remember when we was linked with Arthur, we really coming out the gutter, but it made out the struggle. Word to young Scooter. We have to get a DM this transfer window, not in the summer, please. Rice would not say no, I don't buy it, but Real Madrid has plenty of midfielders. Same facts. Also United. Oh, this is for someone else there. Rice would be a brilliant addition to Arsenal, Marcel, but it could be, I don't know, man. Rice would be good for Arsenal, but players don't reject Madrid or Barcelona, all cap, but who knows? I agree, but didn't Haaland and Mbappe say no for whatever reason? But I agree generally, Madrid asks for you, don't say no. All these clubs, even I don't buy this, I want to stay in London. Yeah, Chelsea could be in it. But if Man United asks for you, historically, what they are as a football club, and also what Ten Hag's doing, I would listen. People might say, oh, there's Casemiro. Casemiro's not going to be there forever. And if Casemiro's missing, like you saw, he ducked out of the Emirates test. He got scared of Partey, and Partey had an off day. You can come in, and you're a significant better player than Fred and obviously McTominay. So I don't know if you should reject that. You hear he wants to stay in London. Man City asks for you. You'd be silly not to go and play under Pep. Liverpool need a rebuild. Keita, Henderson, all these men need to get rid. Declan Rice could be in there. Arsenal have a project. By all means, go for this player. Go for Declan Rice. Make sure you've got a separate plan in place, whether that means going for Moses Caicedo or Brighton, going for the Zubimendi guy, who I'd like both, if I'm completely honest with you. Who knows, people? The Mudryk deal got me having trust issues with transfers like Rice. The dream is free and all that. DG James, shout out to the members. Again, when I hear things like, Arsenal are confident and all the language we've seen. By all means, it makes me feel happy, but we've seen this before. Until Dons are holding shirts, putting up scarves, I don't know. And especially players like him, which are in high demand, and West Ham might even take us around the houses. We might move quicker than all these clubs linked with him to get it done. But West Ham might say, you know what, them man are saying 80, you know, we need 90 because we need to rebuild them and whatnot. Let's wait for other offers. So they might take us around the houses and delay. Kind of what Shakhtar probably did it with Arsenal and Chelsea. And I can't begrudge West Ham because it's a seller's market. If you've got someone with potential, which Declan Rice at 23, 24, you know, has gone on to become a key player for club and country, doing his thing, it makes sense. DG, you need to put that on the t-shirt. I hear that. Why not? Merchandise soon land. On Declan Rice, Sky Cavalla said, I think one of the big moves will be Declan Rice. It looks like he'll be leaving West Ham in the summer. At the moment, Arsenal are leading the race for his signature. Has there been any other updates? Shout out all these Twitter accounts. Don't look like such apart from Cedric. So, yeah, we've seen this with Zubimendi. But apparently, once again, he's already decided that he wants to move to the Premier League at the end of the season and has his heart set on Arsenal, people, not Barcelona, who want to... We'll have to see. In relation to Weston McKennie, people, Weston McKennie remains one to watch between now and the end of the window. Juventus are open to a sale, but there's no urgency or cut price deal. Juventus see 20 million euros is too low. They'd actually like 30 plus million euros. Nothing too significant in Arsenal links at this point. No contact with Juventus. He's then gone on to say Leeds are genuine suitor, people. And as you can see, you know, Leeds got the Americans there. So they got Arsenal there. They're trying to bring in Ohani of Morocco, and obviously they've got his country colleague Tyler Adams. So we'll have to see. Apparently Spurs are long-time trackers of McKennie and have considered a loan. Villa and Leicester are two other clubs who admire him, but we've heard Leeds have taken the front part. Many clubs impressed and tempted by McKennie's versatility. Still a real possibility something happens. No firm offers yet. Juventus maintain their 15-point deduction for capital gains violations. No alarm bells went off for that Pjanic Arthur Melo deal. Okay. No dodgy dealings behind Vlahovic. All right. And any subsequent punishments won't force them to sell right now. This is an expected stance, especially as the club appeals, but several players could exit in 2023. Dusan Vlahovic, as first reported in December, is seen as a very gettable player this summer by various suitors, including Chelsea. He's been linked with Arsenal, Man United, PSG, and plenty of other clubs. Are we going to sign Moussa Diaby? I don't know. If Rice wants it and we want it, then I'll take it. If he's on the bench, we should listen to Eddie in all or nothing. You think you're the only one not starting? Not sure what that means, but hear that. Let's be real. He might not be the finished article, but he's perfect for Arteta and what we're trying to do. Young leader and very talented. I'm here for the Rice thing. Rice might have declined that big Real move because of first team football. Understandable, risky. That's true. But if Real Madrid asks for you, I can't. I'm not saying you're stupid, but whether it works out, Real Madrid come calling, you go in it. Chiesa would be lit. Guy has skill and mentality. Amen. The only thing with Rice, like you said, you probably will be behind Valverde, assuming they sign Jude Bellingham, Chouameni, and maybe even Camavinga, who's going for his own trials and tribulations. If we could have put out, if you could have one out of Rice, Zubimendi, Caicedo, which one you picking? I think Zubimendi offers something no one else in our squad offers. I like Rice, so it's probably a bit biased, but I'd say Rice. If you're asking me to look at it without emotion, I'd probably say Zubimendi for me. But in terms of all of them, I'd say Rice, seen a bit more of him. Caicedo looks a very good talent, showed it at the World Cup, shows it for Brighton every week. Still only played 30-odd appearances, though, for his club, really. So I would probably say Declan Rice. If it's based on what I like to see as a player, I'd think Zubimendi be my first pick. But I also feel like I'm doing Caicedo dirty, man. That's a great question, man. As a United fan, I'll be happy if Arsenal get Rice for a record fee because you lot know all about that, don't you? You know, bringing in Pogba, bringing back in Pogba and it's not working. You lot love going back to your exes. Ronaldo didn't work. Let's get Kudus and Kone from Gladbach. Kone's allowed to arrive, man. DG, do you think we're signing a midfielder this transfer window? I hope so, but my gut is no in it. But I am not Edu. I'm not Arteta. I don't know. I would love to. I hope we sign a central midfielder, but I don't know, man. I really don't know. I'd love to be. Keep your opinions coming, folks. If we're definitely going to get Rice, why not buy him now and loan him back? That's not how life works, my guy. You know it's not how life works. And man, I'm not spending 100 million to let him go back. It's not FIFA, my guy, man. But apparently, in relation to Weston McKennie, apparently his dad's hit out. Apparently, he's hit back at an Arsenal supporter who claimed the midfielder is not good enough to play for Arteta. McKennie is nowhere near close to being technically good enough for Mikel Arteta's side. He doesn't have the creative passing IQ or the positioning IQ. I think he's got the positioning IQ. I think Yunus Musa is a better American to sign if they want depth for Xhaka's position. John McKennie simply replied, "What are you smoking so I can get some?" I mean, dad's always going to, parents, I see it with academy boys, they're always going to put more importance on their kid and probably put them on a platform they're not. Arsenal could hijack Leeds' Weston McKennie deal as player would prefer Ghana's transfer. Obviously, we're a bigger club than Leeds, but you've got the American contingent there. You're probably going to play more first-team football. I mean, you give us a lot of depth, 30 million euros, that's about 20 odd million quid. It's not the worst of things, but I don't really want that. Pardon me. Apparently, Arsenal could hijack Leeds United's move for Weston McKennie, despite reports claiming he has agreed personal terms with the Ellen Road club. It's claimed the Gunners would be the preferred destination. Obviously, we're in London. He's got a lot of Americans over there at Leeds. His gaffer, a couple of his people he's rubbed shoulders with at international level. We're doing better. Arteta's project is great. You know, it's London aspect as well. You're going to be playing European football, whether that's Europa League or Champions League. It makes sense. But when you've been linked with Onana at the minimum, Onana, Telemans, Douglas Luiz, Zubimendi, Milinkovic-Savic, who else, people? Help me out, man. Declan Rice, Calcedo. It's not a name brand thing, but it's very hard to go to Weston McKennie for me as a fan. Arsenal are in the market for a midfielder and have been linked with Brighton's Moses Calcedo and Everton's Andre Onana, Mamadou Onana. West Ham captain Declan Rice is also a top target, but all three of those deals would be more likely to happen in the summer. Arteta wants to add depth in the middle of the park amid uncertainty over the fitness of El Nene, who picked up a knee injury in training earlier this month. Arteta doesn't want to leave himself short in a vital area heading into the second half of the season, and we are kind of short there. Any messing about with Xhaka or Partey or El Nene, then we have to probably go, you know what, Odegaard, Fabio Vieira, Zinchenko, Smith Rowe, you lot, we're going to have to do something around that and probably have to tweak how we play before we put in Lokonga, in my opinion. So we'll have to see. McKennie has been a regular for Juventus so far this season, but it appears the Serie A club are willing to let him leave for the right price. Apparently, he's rejected approaches from Bournemouth, Villa and Fulham. Leeds is more appealing due to the presence of Alisson, Tyler Adams and obviously Jesse March. The report says Arsenal also hold an interest in McKennie. The Gunners are claimed to be more likely to succeed with a deal if they turn their interest into a firm offer, people. Juventus would want a total of around 26.5 million, with between 17.5 and 22 million of that up front, people. So it is what it is. Arsenal may have to move fast, as transfer expert Fabrizio Romano claims McKennie has agreed terms over a potential move to Leeds. A fee is now being discussed between the two clubs. Smash the like button, people. Keep your thoughts coming. Weston McKennie has accepted Leeds United's contract proposal. Personal terms are not an issue. It's on Leeds and Juventus now. The two clubs are discussing on conditions of a deal to understand how to proceed in the new round of talks, people. So I don't know where you lot are at with that, but yeah, man, there's that. Zubimendi was done very much under the radar by Arsenal. Because of that, I think they really rate him and don't want the Blue Rats, Todd, coming in for him. They can't really keep it. You can't really keep a secret, man, really and truly, in today's day and age. Dad's moving mad. 100 million to loan him back. Wonder if what if he does his ACL in that time? Exactly. He's not sensible, man. Deluded, are you going to the FA Youth Cup game against Watford? I shouldn't be. When is that? It can't be that day, is it? What I'm thinking, if we sign this 18-year-old right back, he will move Tomiyasu to left back cover, and I think we'll sell Tini. I think Tini's days are probably numbered, even though I don't want it to be. Zubimendi is from San Sebastian, like Mikel. I bet Mikel would love that connection. Yeah, and also they share the same advisors / agents. Telemans went quiet. Seems like Arsenal lost interest on him, but he'll be free in the summer. Who knows if we'll go back, man. Rice isn't better than Partey. In fact, he's nowhere near Partey at his best, respectfully. I hear that. But still be a half-decent option for us, would he not be? 96 likes, people, still not got 100. You like acting, people, but nonetheless, let's move on. Once again, apparently Manchester City have made an approach for FC Midtjylland defender Osimhen Diamandi, who has impressed on loan in Portugal this season, with Arsenal and Sporting Lisbon also monitoring the promising teenager. Manchester City have asked about him, people. He's on a season-long loan at Portuguese side CD Mafra. Arsenal and Sporting are also interested, people. Let's see the specifics. Apparently, we were fighting Sporting. We wanted to buy him and loan him to Sporting. Then apparently it's us versus Sporting. Now you're seeing Manchester City have brought themselves in, people, and they're always going to sign the best young players around the country, people. So, well, around the world, better yet. That's further confirmation of Weston McKennie, if that's what you want. Dortmund are close to an agreement for Ivan Fresneda. Agents are in England talks talking to clubs about Fresneda. Nothing has been closed yet, and Real Valladolid are waiting for the best offer, allegedly, people. So again, further confirming the same stuff. Once again, Cedric Suarez will be a Fulham player. They'll pick up all of his wages. Big up Zinchenko for that. He has the second best win percentage of all players who have played at least 50 games in the Premier League. That's a great thing. We've seen this already of Fresneda. Demasio has said Fresneda, very, very good player of Real Valladolid. Arsenal is leading the race. Even Newcastle are interested, but Arsenal is leading the race for Fresneda. What is this again, bro? I'm just loving this Fresneda news. What is this? What's this? Well, Arsenal about Weston McKennie. We've already seen that. I don't really care about that anymore. Apparently, Arsenal consider plan to hijack Chelsea's move for Brighton star Moses Caicedo this summer after being gazumped by the Blues to the signing of Mudryk this month. He continues to attract interest from top clubs. He's been linked with a move to Chelsea this month, but he's set to stay put. Arsenal may now rival the Blues in the pursuit of the 24-year-old in the summer. Arsenal are eyeing up a move for Brighton midfielder Moses Caicedo and will rival Chelsea in the chase for the Ecuador international this summer. Could it be third time lucky after João Felix and obviously Mudryk? He has been linked with a move to Stamford Bridge and linking up with his former gaffer Graham Potter. It ain't worked out. The midfielder is reportedly keen on the transfer, but was not willing to force through a departure from Brighton, and Chelsea are now resigned to missing out on him in January. According to the Evening Standard, the Gunners may now potentially rival the Blues when they revisit a move for the Ecuadorian in the summer. Arsenal are keen to sign a midfielder for next season, with the Gunners lacking strength in depth in that position. Declan Rice is emerging as one of the top targets, with the 24-year-old widely expected to leave Arsenal in the summer. However, Mikel Arteta's side are also looking at an alternative to Rice, and Caicedo has emerged as a strong option. He has poured cold water on his future, or his immediate future. I am focused on Brighton. I am here. I am playing every day. Things from the outside don't trouble me, nor does it take away that focus, because I'm focused only on here. I handle the speculation well. You hear rumors here and there, but I only try to be focused on the club where I am now, the club that opened the doors for me to be playing every week, people. So drawing what you want, people, allegedly, people. So we'll have to see in that regards. For what it's worth, allegedly he has changed agents. Brighton want to keep him, but Arsenal, Chelsea and Liverpool are well informed on his situation. It is one to watch in the final days of the January transfer window. I reckon he ends up at Chelsea personally. For what it's worth, we have seen this. There's a concern that Arsenal journalist claims inside info. Dean Jones has apparently said internally there's concerns about the midfield region at Arsenal. There's a concern at Arsenal. There's been since the start of the season. What if we end up with an absence in the centre of midfield? There have been times when it's happened and it hasn't been ideal for them, but they ultimately got through it and they're still top of the league. They would like the right fit again. They're not going to go and sign someone anybody here would advocate for, people. So it is what it is. Let's see what goal.com is saying on this in this regards as well, folks. For what it's worth, as we've seen already, apparently Gunners make Chiesa, Federico Chiesa, their number one transfer target. Again, apparently, people, it seems like Dortmund, according to what you read, some say Dortmund, some say Arsenal, but it seems like Borussia Dortmund have stolen the march on Ivan Fresneda, people. We're interested in signing Osman Diamandi from Midfield, so we have to see how that goes. One article is saying, Peter Rurik is saying that Ivan Fresneda is close to signing for Arsenal. We've previously just spoken about Moses Caicedo. We've been linked with Warren Zaire-Emery of PSG, the young man, bring him to the carpet. Arsenal could compete for Onana, according to journalists. According to journalist Sasha Tivaleri, the exit of Frank Lampard and the need for cash at Everton might have opened the doors for Mamadou Onana to leave in January, people. Apparently, Everton's up for sale. They know they've got rid of Lampard. Onana and Gordon have missed training. Apparently, that was for an unrelated issue. But as you know, Newcastle are trying to sign Anthony Gordon like Chelsea were trying to do in the last window. And Onana's been linked with a move away. The Belgian midfielder, who was linked with us when he was in Lille and in France, better yet, boasts is of a strong and physical profile. And he is good technically in the centre of the park. And with the Gunners looking to bring in reinforcements in the winter window, they could keep an eye on Onana. We've obviously confirmed the signing of Jacob Kiwior as well. We've plotted a summer move for Martín Zubimendi. Arsenal want to sign the central midfielder Martín Zubimendi from Real Sociedad in the summer. The same report states that Zubimendi rejected the Gunners' offer a few days ago as he wanted to finish the season with La Real. Got Barcelona also interested in the midfielder as they believe he can be the perfect successor to Sergio Busquets, people. If we refresh the pages and see if there's anything else. Well, let's leave that. Fresneda, we covered this. Real Valladolid yet to receive offer for Arsenal target, people. Oh, we have covered this. So again, it all really depends, man. How far or close on transfers to happening. You know, what's actually happening in the transfer versus what's being reported. Who knows, people? Let's change this to the last hour. Shout out Zinchenko. Arsenal must forget the Europa League. Shut up, man. Target both of them. What you on about? We ain't that lit to be doing any of that. Bro, apparently Fresneda's absence from training, people. Either Fresneda's absence from training after claims Gunners made bid. Arsenal transfer target was absent from Real Valladolid training today, and he was on the bench in their last game as his future hangs in the balance, people. Let's see exactly what's been said here. The teenager could have picked up a knock as he came on as a substitute against Atletico Madrid on Saturday. However, it's much more likely the 18-year-old has been given time to make a decision on his future. As you know, he's been linked with a whole host of clubs over the January window. It now looks like he has to decide between a move to Arsenal and Borussia Dortmund. Apparently, the Gunners, even though Real Valladolid guys said they haven't had any offers, apparently we've made a £13 million bid for the defender this week, although Dortmund think they're in pole position to sign him. Fabrizio Romano has suggested that he'll make his decision in the next 24 hours, which may explain his absence, people. So we'll have to see exactly what's going on, but Dortmund will be a fantastic project for him. Xabi Alonso is amazed by Martín Zubimendi's playmaking ability, specifically what has been said. Martin's a player all coaches would want. He's generous. He always thinks more about his teammates than himself. He has that ability to generate play, to make those around him better, always offering solutions to improve the move. He understands what the next step is before the ball gets to him, as all footballers, much less a central midfielder, should. He has that ability to organize the axes. I loved working with him. Bring him, man. Apparently, he is keen on a move to the Premier League, people, but he has made it, and he favours a move to Arsenal over Barcelona, but he has made it clear that he wants to see out the remainder of the season with his boyhood club, which would rule out a switch to North London early, this month. So I'm here for it, people. I really am. I wanted to go away from these sort of things as well, people. Closing that. There's a couple of other stuff. Apparently,